Hey everybody, Actin' Tough Gaming here, and in today's video, I want to show you how I play Bone Spear Necromancer. Quite frankly, because I didn't have a whole lot of fun with Bone Spear Necromancer until I started using this playstyle. Up until this point, I had felt like I was just starved for essence all the time, and it was because I was playing too spammy. I was throwing my Bone Spear out too much, it was depleting my essence, and it just caused my build to feel bad. Once I switched over to this playstyle, which is more like preparation based and like kiting enemies around and getting them to line up the way that you want them to be lined up so that you can be more efficient with your bone spear throws, this became so much more fun. And in this video, I want to show you the skills that I'm using. I want to show you how they synergize together. And then I want to go through the rotation and show you some gameplay. This is not a build guide. I follow Max Roll's build because those guys just do such a phenomenal job with it. I will show you my skill tree and my gear that I'm using, but that's not really the focus of the video. It's just more on the play style and understanding how the skills synergize together so that you can have a whole lot of fun a lot sooner than I did with this class. So let's get right into just the skills. I want to show you first the skill assignments that I have, and I'll just start with Bone Spear. You'll see right away that the essence cost here is 25. I only have 124 essence to begin with, so I can only throw out 4 Bone Spears before I run out, and I might be able to get a 5th one in depending on how quickly my essence is regenerating, but still you'll see you can't spam with this build, and that's going to be crucial in understanding because with this build you are going to be needing to set up your throws of the Bone Spear. You can't just spam it out. You gotta kite the enemies around, and once you kite them around, you're going to use corpse tendrils to group them back up together. So the veins burst out of a corpse, gets all of them around, brings them to one central location so that you can hit as many as you possibly can with one throw of your Bone Spear. And it's important because we have to be efficient with our essence cost being about 20% of our total essence. Now you're going to use corpse explosion as well, because what this does is with Grim Harvest you generate 6 essence every time you explode a corpse, but the real reason we're going to be doing this is because of this Fueled by Death perk. You deal 9% increased damage for 6 seconds after consuming a corpse. You'll see I've got 3 out of 3 here, so it's 3% for every time you upgrade it. But we're mainly going to be exploding corpses to keep our damage buff up. The next skill that we're going to use is Bone Prison, and this is the way that you boost your essence whenever it's super low. And if you trap one enemy inside the Bone Prison, it's just 15 essence, which is better than nothing, but it's not great. But you get 5 additional essence per enemy that's trapped. So the way that we're going to trap as many enemies as possible is using corpse tendrils to group them all up and then drop our Bone Prison right on top of them to shoot our essence way up so that we can go back to that rotation of using Bone Spear and then corpse explosion and corpse tendrils and then throwing that Bone Spear out again once our enemies are grouped together. Another benefit that Bone Prison has is it fortifies you for 5% base life for each enemy that's trapped by Bone Prison. So if you find yourself taking a lot of damage, you may just want to drop Bone Prison simply to give you that extra protection. Bone Storm is something we're going to want to have up at all times possible because it reduces the damage that you take by 15%, and then it boosts your critical strike chance by 20%. So it's a huge buff to your damage reduction and critical strike chance. And the last thing is Blood Mist. It is basically your, oh man, I'm in trouble, I've got to get out of here. It gives you invincibility for 3 seconds, and it's just really a great skill to have to get you out of trouble quick. So just to recap the rotation, we're going to encounter a mob and throw our Bone Spear out to get some corpses that drop. And then we'll use corpse tendrils to group those enemies together and use corpse explosion to get our damage buff way up, and then we will throw our Bone Spear out at those enemies that are grouped up on that corpse just to do as much damage as possible with one throw of the spear. And we're going to repeat this process just over and over until we need to use Bone Prison to boost our essence up. Or we might need to just use Bone Prison to fortify us to get more protection. And all while this is going on, we've got Bone Storm up as much as possible to give us a damage reduction boost and a critical strike chance boost as well. And then, of course, we have Blood Mist if we're taking too much damage and just need to get out because we're going to die. Before I show you some gameplay, I just want to show you what my skill tree looks like. I've got 1 in Bone Splinters just because you have to. There's no way to refund it. Bone Spear, got 5 out of 5. Enhanced, and then Paranormal, 3 on Living Energy, 3 in Perfectly Balanced, 3 Hewed Flesh, 1 in Blood Mist, 1 in Corpse Explosion, 3 in Grim Harvest, 3 in Fueled by Death, 1 in Bone Prison, then Enhanced, and then Dreadful Bone Prison. Nothing in the Curse skills, but down here for Corpse, I've got Corpse Tendrils, 5 out of 5, Enhanced, and Blighted. And then down here, Serration, Compound Fracture, Evulsion, Rapid Ossification, all 3 out of 3. Standalone, 3 out of 3. Memento Mori, 3 out of 3. Bone Storm, upgraded all the way to Supreme. And then down here, I've got Ossified Essence. Now, again, I just followed the build guide straight from Max Roll. And then you can see my gear here. I don't have like the best gear, but you know, I've got some of the aspects that are like the Loop of Torment, the Band of the Umbral, and then I put Bone Spear. I put the splintering bone, whatever the splintering aspect is. I put that on my amulet because you upgrade your weapon so much you really don't want to imprint too much on it. I did 1 imprint here on my weapon, but you know, you generally put your important skill on your amulet or like your gloves because you're not upgrading them nearly as much as you are your weapon. All right, so let's get into gameplay. Boom, got another mob here. Throw him out my Bone Spear, Corpse Tendrils, Corpse Explosion, throw it out. Boom, decimate them. See, I'm taking a lot of damage, but again, boom, Corpse Tendrils, Explosion, group them up, throw your Bone Spear out, and you just, even when I'm, what, 16 levels below them, it just does so much damage. Keep my Bone Storm up now, Corpse Tendril, Explosion, throw out the Spear. Spear. Ooh. Corpse Tendril, Explosion, group them up, and my Bone Spear usually comes back. It didn't come back there. Watch how quickly I run out of essence with this next group I encounter. I'm probably going to die because I'm just going to throw out my Bone Spear 4 times. Try to throw out 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got my 5th, but I'm done. So what I would do here, Corpse Tendril, suck them in, Bone Prison on top, and you get that essence right back pretty quick. Now, usually if you've got a bunch of enemies around, your essence management is okay, but when you are in 1v1 boss fights, that's where things can get especially tricky. So I just want to show you some gameplay in like a worst case scenario type deal where you're just 1v1. You see how much damage I'm doing, and it's so much. So I've got no essence there, so I use Bone Prison, use a Corpse Explosion, got another corpse, and I'm just rotating every time a corpse drops. I am using it for essence generation here. So you kind of want to alternate between like Bone Spear, Corpse, Bone Spear, Corpse, and then once you get down low enough, hit your Bone Prison. Should drop, you know, some more corpses, and that should carry you through the fight. So that's how I started having a lot more fun with Necromancer, is slowing down my gameplay and having each of my actions be more purposeful. And it's super fun, super rewarding whenever you set it up and then throw that Bone Spear and see those big damage numbers pop up. I hope this video helped you out, and if you're somebody like me that was considering dropping the Necromancer at like around level 45 to 50 or so, I would say stick with it and try what I went over in this video. And if you still don't enjoy it, then you're probably not going to enjoy the Bone Spear Necromancer, so drop it after that. But let me know in the comments, what are some of your favorite builds in the game? Are you having fun with Diablo 4 so far? I'd love to hear it. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope everyone has a nice day.